Guys, traveling with littles can be stressful, so naturally you may be wondering, what can I do to survive a cruise with young kids? Today I'm giving you my tips and tricks on how to survive a cruise with young kids. Let's get to it! Hi, I'm Theresa from the Motherhood Upgraded blog. Today, I'm on Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas. We're sailing for 5 nights from New York to Bermuda. I'm sailing with my husband, my 2 kids who are 3 and 6, and my in-laws. So let's get to the tips and tricks. Tip number 1, pre-cruise prep is key. A little bit of prep will go a long way. You will be thanking yourself when you're enjoying your cruise. The most important step is picking the right itinerary, cruise line, and ship. Is the destination really important to you, or are you more into enjoying the ship and the ride? If water play and pool time is important to you, make sure you understand the potty training rules. For example, many ships won't allow kids wearing swim diapers into the pool. Some ships do have a special baby splash pad, so definitely don't be stuck on a ship where your baby can't even enjoy water play. I highly recommend using a travel agent. You don't have to pay any extra for their service, and a good travel agent can share their insights. Research the Kids Club. Many cruises offer childcare for free or at a very reasonable rate. Different cruises have different age cutoffs. Most of them need your child to be toilet trained to be placed out of the nursery. Some kids clubs are separated based on age, so check beforehand if your kids are going to be together or split up. Sometimes you can ask them to keep your kids together. Pick the right room for your family. Now, aside from is it convenient or on a quiet part of the ship, consider if the sleeping arrangement in the room works for you. Most cruises only have showers, not baths. So does your kid need to practice showering so they're not freaking out on the cruise? And make sure you get your preferred dinner seating time when you book. Closer to your trip, there's a few things to look out for. Pre-book as many things as you can when it comes to dining reservations, internet, and drink packages. You'll be paying a discounted rate, and you won't be standing in line with 4,000 other passengers on your first day. Make sure you download all your cruise apps, games, and videos before you get on the ship. Wi-Fi can be expensive and a little slow on board. Request a crib or pack and play and a medical-grade fridge before you cruise, just to make sure you're taken care of. I didn't realize that the fridges in the room are more for keeping beverages chilled than being an actual fridge. So if you're storing milk or formula, that standard fridge isn't gonna cut it. Tip number 2, maximize your first day. Okay, my philosophy is that your vacation starts as soon as you step foot on that boat. So come out of the gate flying. The goal is to start enjoying the ship while everyone else is still boarding. Wear your athletic gear and swim stuff. You won't be able to access your room right away, so don't waste time waiting to change. Hit up your high priority signature activities as soon as you get on board to avoid lines. Most people head to the buffet as soon as they get on board. For our family, trying to find a table for 6 was kind of like Hunger Games. I really wish that I had booked a specialty restaurant for lunch that first day, or else waited until after 2 p.m. to eat. Pack strategically. You can check your big luggage and they'll deliver it to your room. It's really nice not having to lug that through the crowd. All right, top packing hacks. These magnetic hooks were clutch. The walls and ceiling of your room are metal, so these hooks can go almost anywhere. They're great for hanging your stuff, especially your wet bathing suits. Our room only had 2 outlets. Most cruises won't allow extension cords, but this little USB tube was fine. It was nice to just have these walkie-talkies so we could find each other on the ship and on shore. Tip number 3, make the most of onboard activities. The onboard activities are one of the highlights of the cruise, so don't miss out. We were on Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas. It's not the biggest or newest ship, but in hindsight, being on a smaller ship actually made it more manageable for our kids and the grandparents. Luckily, we didn't have to walk too far for anything. The kids really enjoyed the shows. They enjoyed the headliner magician, and surprisingly, they really enjoyed the ice show as well. They were so inspired, they actually really wanted to try ice skating. The kids aren't into water slides yet, but their absolute favorite thing on the ship was Splashaway Bay. With all the amazing things to do, you really work up an appetite, which takes us to tip number 4, figure out your optimal dining strategy. Trying to feed your littles when traveling can be one of the biggest challenges. Luckily, there are so many dining options, you can definitely come up with a solid plan. Real talk. The philosophy that got me through this trip was, let's go with the flow. For us, the main dining room was generally open for breakfast and dinner. We requested the earliest seating time for dinner, which was around 5:30 p.m., and that worked out perfectly for our family. We really liked having the same table and waiter without having to line up and wait every night. So having an assigned dining time was great. Luckily, Royal Caribbean has Mind Time dining as well. So if you don't want the set dining time, you can make different reservations for each night or just line up for a table. My backup plan B was the Windjammer, which was the buffet on our ship. It was pretty much open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Personally, I'm running around enough at home getting everyone fed. Trying to walk the buffet line with two littles in tow can be challenging. And I didn't want my in-laws walking too much either. So for us, the main dining room was the best option for breakfast and dinner. That worked for us, but I know others swear by the buffet. One of the best things about cruising is the variety of food available. So I would say your kids will definitely not starve. If anyone has any other tips on feeding your kids, drop me a message in the comments. Of course, no cruise is complete without ice cream. Many cruises have 24/7 soft serve. But guys, soft serve ice cream melts fast. Our kids made such a mess. We didn't figure this out until the end of the cruise, but you can grab some bowls and spoons from the Windjammer, and voila! More ice cream, less mess. Okay, last but not least, tip number 5, things to consider on port days. Whether you choose to stay on the ship or go ashore, you're bound to have an amazing time. For us, we were just planning on going with the flow. We were happy spending only a few hours off the ship. We decided to go to Horseshoe Bay. We grabbed a private cab for the 6 of us right off the ship. It was $15 per person round trip. So half the cost, same experience, and with 6 guests, it really adds up. I highly recommend Horseshoe Bay if you have young children. There's a natural rock barrier, so there are no waves. I'm so glad we made the trek. On the flip side, if you're not so into the destination, staying on the ship during a port day is amazing. I highly recommend it. Firstly, everyone's off the ship, so the pools and splash pads are virtually empty. So consider spending your port day on the ship. And there you have it. With these tips and tricks, anyone can survive a cruise with young kids. For more, you can check out my full article on the blog. Like and subscribe if you can. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.